So in this do-it-yourself video, tutorial, whatever you would like to call it, I'm going to show you how I transformed this dresser. So I picked up this dresser from Habitat for Humanity for only 60 bucks. Not only was the price good, but I really loved the detail in the front of the piece. That's why I really actually got the piece. I really love that detail. This piece, the only bad thing about it was that it smelled like smoke. It really smelled like the person smoked 500 packs a day and really didn't care about their lungs. They really didn't, because this piece smelled horrific. So anyways, that's why you see all that white debris on it. It's because it's from the baking soda that I used to try to soak up the smell. I also used vinegar as well, but I think the thing that really helped was when I actually started spray painting to mask the smell of this piece. So yeah, it was really bad. In this next clip, it's just of me with putting the tape on here because this part of the hardware didn't come off and I didn't want to spray paint it, so I just covered it with tape. So our next step is going to be spray painting. I make sure that I spray paint horizontal and vertically so that I can get some good coverage. I would recommend using a spray paint gun. You can pick it up from your local craft store because if not, you're going to have numb fingers. The spray paint that I'm using is Secluded Garden by Valspar. I got a lot of questions on the color of the spray paint, and I picked it up from Lowe's. All right, so this is the finished look after I've spray painted the whole piece. I used about 7 cans, which I really didn't have to use 7 cans because I didn't need to do the top or I didn't need to do the inside. So I could have got away with maybe 4 or 5 cans. In this next clip, I'm just going to be showing you guys how I lightly distress the edges of the dresser drawers. I'm using a 220 grit paper to do this. You can do a deeper distress if you would like, but I just really wanted to go really light, nothing really drastic with the dresser drawers of the piece. And you just keep on just scrubbing away whatever you want, wherever you want it, and to get the look that you like to achieve. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my favorite part, which is the front. So in this area, I'm really going to make sure that I heavily distress because I want to bring out that detail in this particular area of the piece. Now, when it comes to distressing, if you do not like what you've done, you can always go back, spray paint over it, chalk paint over it, paint over it, whatever you want to do, just until you get the look that you want to achieve. So this is the end result. As you can see, the middle hardware pieces that I had, I actually just sanded it with the same 220 grit paper to bring out that gold that was being hidden by all of the buildup that it had on it. This piece had to be really, really old in someone's attic or garage. All right, so in this next clip, I'm just going to show you guys how I restored the hardware because it had a lot of lime, rust, buildup, whatever, calcium, I don't know. It was a lot of it. So I used Coke. Don't drink Coke. Do not drink it. It is death, okay, if it can take this stuff off of the hardware like it did. So this is the before. And you can see after the Coke, you can kind of see the gold coming through. And literally all I did was take a sand block, and sand it off very, very easy. No elbow grease or anything. Again, do not drink Coke, not unless it's diet, caffeine free. Check. Okay, so now this is the end of the whole thing, guys. Psych, I'm kidding. I still have to do the wood, but I have done the distressing, restoring the hardware, and all of the hard part is over. I'm kidding again because the wood was just, the wood was a lot, but I love how it turned out with the wood on it. So in this next clip, I'm going to be showing you guys how I stained the wood. Now with this wood, I used dark walnut and classic gray. But as you can see, I really didn't use classic gray. I just used whatever oil or whatever it was on top of it because it came out clear. Because when you get something, make sure you shake it up. Don't be like me. Shake it up. Because I'm like, I got a bad batch of classic gray. And I really didn't. I just didn't shake it up. So anyways, I digress. So just make sure you get good coverage on the front and the back. I let it sit for about 5 minutes. And then I flipped it over and I continued to wipe it off. Okay, so in this clip, my husband is just using the table saw to cut the various pieces of wood into the different measurements that they needed to be to go on top of the dresser. Nothing fancy, nothing hard to do, not unless you're scared of the saw like I am. So in this clip, I'm just basically gluing the wood to the dresser and using these weights to weigh it down so that it dries properly. And I left it on there for about 10 to 15 minutes. So in this next clip, I'm going to show you a little bit closer up of how I have used this caulk gun, and I'm using liquid nail. And all I'm doing is just making sure I'm putting the liquid nails in various areas. I'm putting it on the dresser and on the wood again, and I'm making sure that I'm covering it very, very well so that it sticks. And all you have to do is pop the piece of wood back in place, making sure that it's where you want it to be, and place the weights right back on there. Dun da da da! Finally, we're finished! I love how this piece turned out. It looks amazing in our space that I have it in. I was really hesitant about using this blue, but it actually turned out really nice. And the wood being that darker stain kind of toned it down a little bit. And honestly, it all depends on the lighting as well with this piece. If it's using natural light, it'll look bluer, and if it is in like just regular lighting, it's gonna look like this teal color. So I sealed it with polyurethane satin. I thought I had a clip of that, but I didn't, but that's what I sealed it with. And on the bottom, I sealed it with the same polyurethane, and I glued it the same way that I did for the top. So yeah, I really like this piece. I hope you guys like it, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you watch the future ones to come. Like my page, follow me guys, and there will be more do-it-yourself videos. Thanks for watching, guys.